Childhood cancer is not fair, and neither is the amount of funding used to research for a cure. On a federal level, only 4% of funding is solely dedicated to childhood cancer research. Rachel Wick is getting personal with this. You've talked to a couple of families. Cancer, devastating for anybody with a diagnosis, but man, when you're a parent and you hear your kids have it, oh, I can't even imagine.
You really can't. And Betsy, well, no one knows how this is going to impact them emotionally and physically. Money is just something you shouldn't have to worry about during a time like this, but it is a sad reality of cancer. Tonight, two families, two stories with similar fights. First, we'd like to introduce you to the Boss family and their son, Christian. You wouldn't know it just by looking at his fast little legs and his little red shoes.
He's the boss of the Boss family for sure.
That last year, this 5-year-old's life was completely turned upside down.
For about a week or so, Christian was very tired. We thought it was a virus, maybe he had a cold. And after the couple of days, we decided to take him into Mayo Clinic, where they did a blood draw. And only a couple hours later, they called us with the devastating news that he didn't have a cold, but his blood counts were off and he had leukemia.
Martine and Katie Boss both work at Mayo Clinic. Katie, a pediatric nurse manager, and Martine, a research scientist. With all they've seen, it still couldn't prepare them for this diagnosis.
It's all a blur in the end. There's so much information that comes at you. There's so much fear, sadness.
We were afraid to lose our son. You think it never will happen to you.
I'm going really fast, though.
And your life can change in an instant.
Throughout the treatments, throughout the doctor's visits and long hospital stays, Christian powered through.
He's matured so much in dealing with it that for him it's normal. And he explains that to other kids as well. He has a nose tube for extra feeding and medication, and he completely accepts that and tells people why it is.
Now in school, the Boss family is educating others about what it takes to keep Christian healthy with the help of a cute, cuddly, stuffed mammal.
We found this charity that is called Monkey in My Chair. This charity provides a large stuffed monkey that belongs in his classroom. Christian has named him Steve. And Steve sits in Christian's chair on days that he's gone either to the clinic or at procedures or is in the hospital.
And the Boss family isn't stopping there. Whatever free time they have, they work to help other families touched by cancer through warrior wagons.
One day, a few days after he was diagnosed, it showed up in our room with a bag full of all things that were very useful to have in the hospital. Toys for him, blankets, towels, treats. And it is founded by a family from Austin, Minnesota. And they lost their boy to pediatric cancer. And we've stayed in touch and reached out to the family and have been helping them to deliver new wagons to Rochester.
It's healing to help others. We know what it feels like, and we know how good it feels to have somebody reach out who truly understands what you're going through. And so we like to pay that forward.
Colin, what?
It's been awesome watching him running around yelling and screaming and just seeing the joy on his face.
It's really good.
This is the new normal for the Boss family, living each day to its fullest
My head is big.
and savoring each and every sweet smile.
When you interviewed them that day out at Twight's, I was out there. We were shooting a promo at the pumpkin patch, and talking to the parents is so fascinating because the emotion that comes with it. Kids show us that they are stronger than us in these types of situations, and I could tell that, you know, Katie was so emotional, but little Christian was just like, it's all good, Mom, we're just here to play.
I know, they're so resilient, children are, and that's what I think makes it harder to see someone so innocent going through such pain. And this last year has been anything but easy for Christian, for Martine and Katie and the rest of their family. They have two other kids as well who are impacted by this. It impacts the entire family. There are a number of different things we think about with childhood cancer, but we don't think a lot about the people who don't have cancer but are still impacted by that, being the children, even the parents. And there are a number of organizations out there like Hope Kids that allow the parents to take other children out to wonderful events like a Timberwolves game or a Minnesota Wild game, that kind of stuff.
Brighter Tomorrow.
Yes, Brighter Tomorrows
That come
as
in
well.
and just support.
Yeah, finding somebody else who's going through the same situation, and you find strength through those people as well.
And it isn't easy emotionally, but financially. People are like, well, they have insurance. You know what? Insurance only covers so much. And it doesn't matter what your profession is. For the most part, people are, this puts them in a situation that none of us want to see ourselves in.
Betsy, it's millions of dollars for, you know, a year's worth of treatment. And the Boss family wants to pay it forward. You heard Katie talk about that, just giving of their time when they can. They're already so busy. How do they find the time? But this is their calling. They see how it impacted their son, and they're seeing how it impacts people who travel from around the world to come to Rochester for this amazing medical treatment. So we want to, they mentioned the Warrior Wagons. There's ways that you can help support the Boss family and others going through these cancer treatments this Saturday. There will be a fundraiser for Warrior Wagons from 4 to 7 at the Olmsted County Fairgrounds.